Okay, you can say anything you want. You can give me the worst, toughest, most horrible question. Who cares, right? Who the hell cares? For 7 years, our MAGA movement, the greatest in political history, there's never been anything like this, has been taking on all of the evil and sinister forces trying to destroy America's future. You know that? You know it better than most. We stand up to the globalists. We stand up to the Marxists. The Marxists. Remember I said, we will never have socialism. That train left socialism a long time ago. Never even stopped at that station. We stand up to the crooked Democrat prosecutors all over the country. If I fly over a state that happens to be Democrat, let's call them into a grand jury. They have never, nobody's ever weaponized like this group of people. They're maniacs. We stand up to the Rhinos, communists, and the anti-energy extremists. We stand up to the open borders fanatics and the pro-China special interests and the fake news media, of which we have quite a bit of it right here. A lot of it. We put workers first, we put farmers first, and above all, we put America first. We put America first. In our 4 incredible years, and they were incredible years, we achieved more for Iowa than any president in American history. It's not even a contest. And in particular, the farmers, they know better than anybody, working hand in hand with Iowa's leaders. I was the most pro-farmer president that has ever been in the White House by far. I was rated that by everybody because I appreciate the farmers. I know how smart they are, how good they are, and how hard they work. Nobody in history did more for farmers of our country, the great farmers, than I did. To protect family farms, I virtually eliminated the unfair estate tax or death tax. You know, remember I used to say, look, I'm trying to get this passed. I don't know if I can get it. But if I do, if you love your children, you can leave your farm to your kids. If you don't love it, you don't have to worry about tax. No tax! They call it a death tax. That's not a nice word, but, you know, very appropriate. If you don't like your kids that much, or if you don't like them at all, which happens on occasion, don't leave them a thing. The tax won't help you. Don't worry about it. Does anybody in here not like their children? Oh, be careful. Oh, we got to be careful with that. And our Department of Agriculture cut 7 old regulations for every 1 new regulation, saving farmers and taxpayers $262 million a year at least. I ended the NAFTA disaster. That was a disaster. Worst trade deal ever made, and I replaced it with something you like very much, with the USMCA, Mexico and Canada, best trade deal ever made. You know how you know it's good? Mexico and Canada want to renegotiate the deal. I see they're up there. We want to renegotiate. It's not working so well. We want everybody to be happy, but it's better that way than the other way. For for decades, we had to live with NAFTA. What a disaster it was. But the USMCA, we're very proud of that. Everyone said that's another thing couldn't be done. We did a lot. At my personal insistence to Prime Minister Trudeau, the USMCA pried open Canada's dairy, poultry, and egg markets for American producers. They were shutting us out. You have no idea what they were doing. I stood up to China like no administration has ever done before. And I brought in hundreds of billions of dollars of tax and tariffs and all sorts of revenue pouring into our treasury from China, when no other president had ever gotten literally 10 cents, nothing. They came in and they took our country by storm, and we stopped it, and we made one of the greatest trade deals ever. We were mistreated by China, and our farmers were mistreated more than anybody else, and I took a list as to what amount that bad treatment was, and I went to he did a great job, Sonny Perdue, Secretary of Agriculture. I said, Sonny, let me ask you a question. I want you to figure out over the next couple of days or sooner, how much money did China rip off our farmers in this country? You have to tell me. He got back to me and he gave me it on a yearly count over a few years, but the total was $28 billion. And I told China, you have to pay it. And you know what? They paid it. They paid it. And you all, many of the people in this audience, got a check. I took it out of the tariffs.